Your mind is your most powerful tool if you want to have an unmedicated birth. You have to have a team behind you that believes in you. You also want to prep. You can't just show up for a marathon and like, oh, I think I'm going to run a marathon tomorrow morning. You can do it. Trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. Hey everyone, I am Alex. I'm a nurse, I'm a new mom, and welcome to my super messy kitchen. And welcome to my channel. I'm just in my kitchen. I got some cleaning to do. I'm making some food for my daughter, and she is sitting there playing on her mat. So if you hear her screaming or rattling things, sorry about that. I wanted to talk about unmedicated birth today. So why did I want to talk about unmedicated birth? So I had an unmedicated birth. It was my first pregnancy, not my first pregnancy, but my first birth. And I had an unmedicated birth, and a lot of people are asking me, why in the hell would you do that? And the truthful answer is, I don't know. I don't know why I would do that, but I did. And I've been thinking a lot about how it's very comparable to running a marathon, where your mind is your most powerful tool if you want to have an unmedicated birth. Your body starts to become so tired that you really need like a powerful mental shift to keep pushing, because your mind is just like, stop, you're going to die. Why are you doing this? Please stop immediately. This is ridiculous. Why are you running this much? Your body is so well designed, it's going to protect itself, right? So it's kind of similar in birth, where when you get to that point where you just feel like you can't do it anymore, you really need to have trained your mind over body to keep going. So how do you do that? I mean, I can make a whole video about this, but I used a lot of meditations. I practiced so many meditations when I was pregnant. Like every night before going to bed, I was listening to meditations about hypnobirthing and about positive birth, and you know, how my body can do this, how I'm strong, and all that stuff. You can have mantras. So those are really all important things. Like your mind has to be set that you're having this unmedicated birth. And along the same vein, you have to have a reason why you're doing it. So in my case, my why for doing it was, my body was created to do this. I can do this. There's no reason I can't do it. Everyone has done it in the past before me. Millions and millions of women have had unmedicated birth. I also really wanted to experience it, to just feel that experience. Like it's just such an incredible thing to go through, and I wanted that experience. So that was my why that kind of carried me through when I literally thought I was going to die. So that's also a really important part. So like, why are you running this marathon? Is it for your health? Is it for healing? Is it just to challenge yourself and to keep that mantra in the back of your mind while you're doing it? Same thing with unmedicated labor. Another really, really important thing is that you have to have a team behind you that believes in you. Whether that's like your birth partner, I had my husband and my doula. Your medical team has to support your decision for unmedicated labor, like without question, because similar to if you're running a marathon and you're every like 5 miles, there's someone like a friend on the side who's saying, hey, like, you don't really have to do this. You've done so much already. Like, come, like, you can stop. You don't need to do this. Then the chances that you're going to continue are, I mean, you could, but they're a lot less than if you have people every 5 miles being like, you got this, you can do it, keep going. So it's the same thing with unmedicated labor. And I really believe these people are well-intentioned. Like, you know, your birth partner might be like, look, like, you don't have to be a hero. Like, you don't have to do this unmedicated. But you really need people there who are like, when you're the one saying, I can't do this anymore, to have people say, yes, you can. And maybe you could have like a safe word where if you say pineapples or something like that, then yes, get me the epidural. But truthfully, you're probably going to be asking for the epidural 100 times, but it doesn't really mean you want it. It's just, that's how hard it is. So you really need to like craft your support team, your birth partner especially, but also your medical team. You know, I gave birth in a hospital, but I did have a medical team that supported unmedicated labor and physiologic labor. I was, you know, birthing on all fours. And anyways, I had a great medical team that it was actually even the triage nurse who was like, when I was showed up and I was like, I need the epidural. She was like, well, you're almost done. Like, why did you show up so late? If you wanted an epidural, did you want to do this unmedicated? And I was like, well, yeah, but not anymore. I'm dying. And she was like, you feel like you're dying and you can't do this anymore because you're at the end. Like, I showed up at 7 centimeters at the hospital. Like an hour later, my daughter was born. It was insane. But so the triage nurse, kind of really pushed me. I was like, okay, I could do it, I guess. But anyway, so just the importance of having staff there who are like, hey, you wanted to do this unmedicated, you're doing it. Like, you have got this. Like, I know it feels impossible, but you're doing it and you're almost done. You're almost there. You can do it. So in that way, it's kind of like running a marathon too. You have to have support people there who believe in you, who are not telling you like, just take the exit. You don't need to do this. It's fine. Of course you don't need to do this, but why are you doing it? Come back to your why. And then, oh God, I'm not even prepping food. I'm like so passionate about this. Okay, I need to actually do the work because my daughter's gonna, you know, start freaking out soon. So you really have to like have a why, mindset over everything. Like, your mind has to be more powerful than anything. And then have the support people there who really believe in your like vision and your desire to have an unmedicated labor. And then the last thing is, there's like 10 things I could say, but you also want to prep. You can't just show up for a marathon and like, oh, I think I'm going to run a marathon tomorrow morning. Chances are like you're not going to be able to do it. And it's the same thing with unmedicated labor. You really have to prepare. Then again, I say that, and truthfully, like, your body will just give birth. Like, you don't need to do anything. If you were just in some like random field somewhere, your body would know what to do. But if you're in a hospital and you have access to an epidural and you haven't prepped yourself for an unmedicated birth, chances are you're going to ask for that epidural. And I do not blame you. Like, it's unmedicated labor is not fun. So you have to prep. So how did I prep? I got myself a doula. So if you're able to get a doula, you know, I know it can be pricey, but, you know, shout out to my doula, Alex Negru. She's amazing. I'll talk all about her in my birth story video. But yeah, you have to prep. So I also did birth courses. I did Bridget Taylor's. I know she's very popular on YouTube. I bought her courses and they were great. She really went through like explaining all physiologic birth, and I listened to all her meditations, all the hypnobirthing. I read a couple books on hypnobirthing also, which was really helpful. 2 months leading up to my birth, every single night I went to bed with meditations in my earpods, like for 20 minutes to a half hour, doing my breathing exercises too. Breathing is so important. My husband prepped a lot. My doula helped with that. She prepped him in the sense where she taught him how to do counter pressure and just really prepared him for like what I'm going to be experiencing also. And honestly, all of that, like all of the prep I did, especially the mindset prep, I think is what carried me through and got me through unmedicated labor. And also it's things where like, while I was literally pushing on all fours, I was thinking about, you know, how to position my legs and my knees in a way that, you know, opened up my pelvis in that depending on where my baby was in my pelvis. And I learned all of that through, you know, courses and by talking to my doula and watching YouTube videos. And so highly recommend showing up prepared. If you can do it, you know, it might not necessarily mean that you go unmedicated in the end for 100 different reasons, and don't blame you. Like, it's not fun. But prepping does help. And if you are able to do this, like, which you are, like, you are so able to do this. Anyone who tells you, you know, you don't have to be a hero, why would you do this? You know, you could. And if you really have the desire to have an unmedicated birth, you can do it. Trust me, if I can do it. You can do it. I am a sissy. Like, I can't tolerate pain, and I did it. And there's just this thing that takes over your body. It's magical. The high that you get after having an unmedicated birth, unbelievable, like unreal. I felt like I was on drugs for an entire week. I slept for 45 minutes and I was like, oh my God, this was the best sleep of my life. I literally had a religious experience in my bathroom. That's how high I was from all the natural hormones. So it was just an amazing experience. I should just I'm going to do a whole birth story video for anyone who's interested. But long story short, unmedicated birth, mindset, everything. Set your mind, set your why. Why are you doing this? Prep your mind. Do all the prep, the physical prep, learn about unmedicated birth, learn about, the stages of labor and all the different ways of, diminishing the pain and like making things better for yourself during the process of labor. How to stay home. I stayed home for so long before going to the hospital. How do you do that? These are all things you prep for. And then just make sure that like the team of people that are around you, your birth partner, they support your decision for unmedicated labor. And good luck. It's amazing. I'm so excited for you. Comment down below if you've had an unmedicated birth, if any of these things like resonate with you. Maybe there's more comparisons to be had with a marathon also. I'm sure there is. Anyways, I'm going to let you go because I actually have to clean this kitchen and, prep this food. And I'm just going off because I'm so excited about and passionate about this stuff. But yeah, thanks for joining me. See ya.